Canada is the land of bureaucracy. Want to renew your license and need a new picture taken? Well, get ready to wait in line for like 45 minutes at Service Ontario. And let's not even talk about the current healthcare situation. Look, all of the public services in Canada are complete dog shit. And the only way to improve them is to raise taxes and get more funding, right? Well, that's how Trudeau's camp goes about it. And they never tell you about these tax increases until they slap you in the face with it.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
So in this video, I'll be breaking down some quality policy information that you need to know as a Canadian, and also some new laws that are affecting Canadian real estate investors and how that affects you, especially if you're not investing in real estate. So watch the full video. It's going to save you thousands of dollars if you apply what I'm going to be bringing to you. Let's get into it. Now, there are 3 really good websites in Canada if you want to stay on top of what's happening with policies and regulations and new laws. The first website is the Justice Laws website. The second is the CED, the Canadians Encyclopedia Digest. And the third is CanLII. All of these have old laws and new laws that are being amended and updated weekly. Now, these policy updates are called Consolidations. Now, I know it might be some boring stuff, but if you're on this channel, you like boring stuff like me, like taxes and policies and regulations, and it's super important to stay up to date on all of these things because it will affect you as an investor or just as a Canadian citizen trying to get through the economy, trying to get through life, which we know right now is harder than ever to be a Canadian. I mean, Canada is literally one of the most expensive countries to live in right now in the G7 and pretty much in the entire world. Housing is through the roof, inflation is through the roof, food and services and goods, everything is through the roof. And the worst part, Canadians' incomes aren't really keeping up with all of this growth. Unless you're subscribed to the Fruitful Investing channel and you're building your wealth properly, then you're getting way ahead of the curve. I'll just say that. Subscribe to get wealthy. But seriously, it's super important to know how taxes and regulations work because if you don't know anything, dude, and you're just going through life, you graduated high school, maybe you even went to college and you know nothing about money, nothing about taxes, dude, you're getting smoked. You need to be smart and understand how money works and especially how taxes work so you don't pay so much taxes to Justin Trudeau so he can waste it on shit. Or even Pierre Poilievre when he gets in. I don't care who's in. They're all spending money stupidly at the end of the day. Some stupider than others. But regardless, no one is coming to save you except for you. That's what I always say. And that's pretty much what every entrepreneur who is self-made says. The government's not coming to save you. Your teachers aren't going to help you. No one's coming to give you money unless you go get it. And we all know it's not a secret. The secret to life is just to be wealthy. If you have money, you can do what you want, where you want, when you want. That is the secret. Money is like oxygen. It is super, super important. And people who stand here and talk about a fairy tale life,
oh, money doesn't matter. All you need is love.
Either they're already super rich and now they're saying that shit, or they're just dumb. Cool as it sounds to live on a hippie commune and grow your own vegetables and eat wild fruit. It's just sounding like Fruitful style. But it doesn't matter. That's not how it works in the modern day economy. Dude, you need money. So one of my favorite things to keep more money in my pocket is by investing, and specifically investing in real estate. It's no surprise, this is a real estate investing channel. I made all of my money through real estate investing, all of my wealth. I grew up in a pretty poor family. I became a carpenter right after high school. Literally the day high school ended, I was a carpenter. Did my apprenticeship, started my own company renovating properties strictly for investors because I always had this thing in my head of like, I don't know, dude, investing in real estate has got to be it. Nobody told me about this. My parents didn't tell me. Nobody in my family was a real estate investor. But somehow, dude, I got this download was like, you got to invest in real estate.
Yoga, fire!
So I started learning real estate, renovating for these investors. And they were like, dude, you know how to renovate for investors. You understand cash flow. You understand the principles of investing. Why don't you become a realtor specializing with investors? All of my realtors are fucking morons. And I was like, yeah, dude, they're all idiots. So I became a realtor specializing with investors. And what happened was the more videos I made and the more investors I was helping, they're like, dude, you're crushing. Why don't I just invest with you? I don't want to be your client. I want to invest with you. And that happened 2 times, 4 times, 8 times, 50 times, 150 times. I bought 150 properties with none of my own money, all from partners. And that's how I grew my wealth very, very quickly. Now that's all fine and dandy to grow your wealth and make a lot of money, but it's also important to pay as little tax as legally possible. Real estate is a great business for this because, hint, hint, if you don't know, the government doesn't know what the fuck they're doing when it comes to investing in real estate. So they put it on the private sector. The private sector is better than the government at most things, especially real estate investing. We've seen government housing. We've seen Ontario housing. And I know this very well because when I was a carpenter, the company I worked for during my apprenticeship specialized in Ontario housing. That's all I did was Ontario housing jobs. So I saw on the inside what government housing looks like, and it's fucking atrocious. Literally bugs everywhere, roaches everywhere. The houses are falling apart. It was my job to fix the broken, shitty houses. The government knows that they don't do real estate well. So they lean on the private sector, the mom and pop investors, which make up like 70 to 80% of rental houses in the market, is not corporations. Get that shit out of your head. It's not BlackRock. It's not State Street. No, it's Susie and Mark who buy a rental property. It's Lucy and Steven who are buying 2 properties. That's who makes up the majority of the housing market, and the government knows this. So to incentivize the market and the little bit of capitalism we have left in Canada, they offer tax deductions if you invest in real estate and have a business. Now, all businesses have tax deductions. Anything that you're spending money on that goes towards your business, you can write off. But investing is even sweeter because you can depreciate your asset and you can have so many more write-offs. And the government is like, yeah, dude, I get it. You're providing housing. What a noble cause. You can write off all this stuff. Don't worry about it. Don't pay taxes on that. Now, it's not that easy, but it's pretty much that easy. We can make a whole video on depreciation and all this nerdy tax stuff. I'm sure you don't want to hear that. Or maybe you do. Let me know in the comments. But basically, you can devalue your property over the years for you to pay less taxes. Now, for being a real estate investor or being a realtor or a mortgage broker, anything in the real estate investing industry, in any business for that matter, like I said, you can write off all of your expenses that go towards your business. You drive a car. I drive a car, but you're an employee. You can't write off your car payments or your gas. You're driving to work every day, just like I'm driving to work. Not really. I'm sitting here in a studio at my house in Florida for the winter, but you get the idea. We're both driving to work and driving around, but I get to write off my entire car payment, all of my gas when it comes to work. I get to write that off. You can't because I have a business, because I am a real estate investor. Now you have a cell phone. I also have a cell phone. You have internet. I also have internet. You can't write that stuff off, but I can. I bet you have a Spotify subscription. So do I. I get to write it off. Why? Because I listen to real estate investing podcasts from time to time. It helps my business. I get to write it off. You can't. Now I can go on and on and on, but you get the point. When you have a business, when you're self-employed, you get to write off things and enjoy tax deductions. Now, for example, if you make $100,000 in Canada, which is so easy and very average income nowadays, unfortunately, your tax bill on $100,000, if you live in Ontario, is probably going to be somewhere around $35,000, $40,000, probably on that $100,000. So you're only netting like $65,000, $70,000. We'll say the best case scenario, take home pay. Now, I also made the same $100,000, but I'm self-employed. I get to write off my car payment. I get to write off my gas, my cell phone, my internet, the camera equipment that I'm using for this. I get to write off all that stuff. So while I also made $100,000, after I deduct all those expenses, it's going to show that I made only $60,000. But I made $100,000. Let's be real. I spent the money on the same things you're spending. But in the government's eyes, I made $60,000. So my tax bill on $60,000, I don't know, it's probably going to be $12,000. Somebody let me know in the comments what that's going to be. I don't fucking care because I ain't making only $100,000. But you get what I'm saying. My tax bill is way lower than yours, but we made the same amount of money and we spent our money pretty much on the same things. But I got to write them off. You didn't. I got to lower my income, making it look like I made less money, dropping me into a lower tax bracket. You can't. So it's really important to understand what's going on with taxes and policy changes and regulations, which is all the boring shit that nobody wants to listen to. But if you made it this far in the video, you're a real fucking G. You're trying to elevate your life. You're trying to elevate your business. You want to learn all the nerdy shit that nobody wants to learn. And there's a reason why we don't learn about tax rules and tax deductions in school when it's literally the most fucking important thing in life is how to do your taxes. How does money work? How does compound growth work? But see, the government, dude, Trudeau, he don't want you to fucking know that. He wants you to learn fucking Pythagorean theorem and what happened in the War of 1812. Who fucking cares? I want to learn how money works, dude. I want to learn how to compound my growth, dude. I want to learn how I can live in Florida for half the year or live in Portugal or Spain for half the year and not be forced to live in fucking Sudbury, Ontario, bud. fucking freezing my nuts off, bud. Yeah, we don't want to do that shit. We want to live a life on our terms. But see, you got to learn and educate yourself on the things that you never got taught in school. And that was for a fucking reason, dude. Let's put our tinfoil hat on for a second. That was a deliberate attack. Now, if you're done being attacked and being forced to live an average Joe life, and you made it this far in the video, check out my pinned comment below where you can get all of my free guides, like how to invest in the US as a Canadian, because the Canadian housing market is fucking broken. It doesn't work anymore for investing, unfortunately. Also get my guide on how to raise money and build a brand to attract joint venture partners so you can buy unlimited real estate. And many more guides, check out that pinned comment below. Now, if you're a real G, you're also going to smash that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.